Hello, right, I am checking to see if my camera, I'm just going to go on Facebook and check if my camera is working. Not my camera, my microphone. I think it's working. Yes, it looks like it's working. So, if you are watching me, hello. And if you can't hear me, please let me know in the comments that you can't hear me, because I did this last week and I got all the way to the end and the lovely Karen Ratcliffe couldn't hear you. So today I want to talk to you about getting clients. If somebody is watching me, if you can't hear me, could you please put in the comments that you can't hear me, because I'm not 100% sure that my mic is working. So thank you for joining, whoever you are. If you want to pass a comment, please grant StreamYard access to do that. I'm sorry I look like this. I had to go to town and I got caught in the storm, and yes, now I'm channeling Hagrid. So getting clients now. This isn't about you. You'll hear a lot about spray and pray marketing. Spray and pray marketing is something that I call hope marketing as well. It's kind of like, I'll do this one thing and I'll hope that it's going to work. Well, actually, no. There is a framework to get clients, and we talked about it yesterday on in the biz chat. So I wanted to share it with you today. So and this works whether it's a product or a service. So don't come back to me and say, "Oh, hello, Esther, hello." So, can you hear me? Lovely. That's a lovely photo of you, Esther. It really is a lovely photo. Esther's following me around because she wants me to tell her the big idea that I have for her online course, which I might actually tell her on this. So how to get clients, right? And Esther's a copywriter. So Esther is one of the people that you need to connect with to get clients. Oh, you are a star. Thank you, Esther. I did this last week, Esther, for 7 minutes, and nobody could hear a word I was saying, so I had to record it afterwards. So hence the reason why I'm asking if my mic is working. In order for you to get clients, you have to do your ideal client work, right? There is no way around this, okay? Because you have to understand what your clients' problems are, what is the transformation that they need, what is it that is frustrating them? What is the, somebody just said, see, I've got another Facebook user, thank you. I can't stop looking, I get so distracted. I really do suffer from the shiny new object and squirrel thing. So tip number one to get clients is you have to understand who your ideal client is. You've got to know what their problem is, know what their frustration is, you've got to understand what is going on. You have to enter the conversation that is going on in their head with your marketing. You have to know where they're hanging out. You have to have some idea of the kind of thing, like, are they, if you hang out on Facebook and they're over on LinkedIn, you're never going to connect with them. And then you become what I call a busy fool. So you have to do your ideal client work, because the other thing that will happen in your ideal client, look at me with my hands like this. The other thing that will happen with your ideal client work is that the language that they use is the language you are going to use back in any copy or any offers or anything that you put out in front of them, because that is the way that. Have you ever read something or been involved in something and you've gone, oh my God, that person is in my head? That is what they're in your head, because they've done this work and they understand what is going on, and they're basically saying language back to me, which I can connect with very quickly. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. Our brains are very good at filtering out stuff for us. If you think you're in overload now or overwhelm, if your brain didn't have this mechanism of filtering stuff out, you'd be in complete overwhelm, because messages are just coming at us like all the time. And your brain has to filter stuff out, which is why it's really critical that you've got to understand your ideal client. You also have to understand where they're hanging out. Now, I had a client last year who was obsessed with her Instagram. And I kept saying to her, I don't think your client's on Instagram. I said, I don't actually think your client's on social media. 6 months resistance for ideal client work. I know I should have put my foot down earlier, but I ended up writing an ideal client for her, and then she went on an ideal client workshop, which was quite funny. And then we spoke to 5 of her clients, because this is the next tip. If you're doing your ideal client work, go and speak to at least 5 people who are your ideal client. Not your friend, not your mum, not your next door neighbour, no avoidance tactics. You start speaking to 5 people, 5 to 10 people who are your ideal client. You have a conversation with them. You sit down and you listen, and you don't do a lot of talking, and you ask them 3 questions. What is it that they really want? What results are they looking for, and what do they want? You know, if they could get those results, what is the big like hope, dream, and wishes around it? And you just shut up and write. So I ended up doing this client's ideal client work for her, and I put it in front of her, and she went, yeah, that's my ideal client. And it was absolutely no way on this earth this client was going on social media. So then she had 2 really good clients. She messaged me, she said, oh my God, I've just had 2 amazing clients come through the door, and they've paid me to, you know, they didn't even bat an eyelid at my prices because she's quite expensive. And I said, one of the things I said to her was, ask them how they found you. And it was all through referral, because these were professional, high-level CEO women who haven't got the time to be on social media. So they were asking their friends and their, you know, like they were getting their PA, who is it that you recommend that I go to do this work? So do your ideal client work is number 1. Speak to them is number 2, which will help with your ideal client work. Once you've done both of them, you have to sell them what they want and give them what they need. So what I mean by that is that I know you all want marketing, right? I know that every business needs marketing. I know every business needs a sales plan, right? But if I rocked up to you and I said, right, I can do your marketing. Actually, somebody messaged me the other night and said, can I have a conversation about a marketing plan? And I said, yeah, you're looking at least £1,000, £1,500 for a marketing plan. And she ghosted me after that, because she's like, that's just for a plan. That's just like for a piece of paper. That's not actually for any action. But if I said, do you want, you know, if you come on this workshop, I'm going to charge you £150 for this workshop. You're going to be with me all day, and I'm going to teach you how to get clients and make more profit within 14 days. Is that something that you're interested in? She would have gone, well, she did, because I was like, I'm going to do a workshop. Do you want to come on that? And she's like, how do I book my place? You have to sell them what they want, not what you think that they need. You know, we all know, I know Esther's watching this, and I don't know who else is watching this, so I can't pick up on your services or your products. So somebody's just popped in my mind as well. So Esther writes amazing copy, right? And most people don't appreciate that they need copy and content. But if Esther goes out and says, do you want more eyes on your business? Do you want somebody to read something and then book in or speak to you? Do you want me to write an article for you, which is then going to generate you leads into a discovery call? Is that something that you're interested in? They'll be like, oh, yes, please. There's the lovely Alison Worrell that's in this group. She popped into my head. You know, she does Herbalife. You know, sometimes when you mention Herbalife, people just shut down straight away. But if she said, got COVID weight, want to shift it, because Mark Drayford might actually lift, and you might actually be able to go outside, and, you know, I can help you shift X amount of weight in 10 weeks. Is that something that you're interested in? People are like, they're open to the conversation then. Just trying to think of somebody else who, let me have a look in the group. So I was going to say Karen Ratcliffe then, but she does something which is quite emotional. So I'll stay off that one. Helen Roos. Helen Roos has a hairdresser's salon in Cardiff. God love her. She's been closed for the best part of a year. I think she's got 20 stylists. How she's still got hair at the end of this, I don't know. But, you know, she was on the call yesterday, we were talking about this. We all know that we need a haircut, right? And there's going to be like a mass rush for people to book in to have a haircut. But what they are really selling is self-care and pampering. You know, it's that I'm going to have my hair coloured. It's that 2 to 3 hours away from the kids. It's that 2 to 3 hours where you can switch your phone off and just relax. It's like, and for parents, it's like, when was the last time you had 2 hours to yourself? So sell them what they want and then give them what they need. And if you need more clarification on that, please shout. And once you've done that, then you can get visible with your offers, because the other thing that people say to me is, I want to get visible. I need more likes. Likes do not pay the mortgage. Likes do not put food on the table. Likes do not pay for birthdays and things like, or pay for holidays when we can book them. So once you've done the other things I've just mentioned, you can put your offer together, and that makes you very, very visible to your ideal client, because you are then talking their language, you're giving them something that they need, and you can start to engage into them. The caveat to that is, when you're getting clients, is that what is your sales target? What is it, you know, if you want to make £2,000 in the next 30 days and you're selling a product for £100, people are saying hi, I'm Facebook user and I don't know who it is. So hello. you know, if you've got to, I've got to get my calculator out. So because my maths is awful, and I'm blaming the fact that I got wet when I went to town. So if you are right, actually, if you want to earn £2,000 in the next 30 days, and your product is £100, that means you've got to sell 20 of them. Whether it's a product or a service, you've still got to sell 20 of them. Now, if you know what your conversion rate is for how many conversations or how many leads you need, on average, it should be 3. Because women tend to waffle. It would be quite nice to get that down to 2. So if it's 3, that 3 as in the number 3, not 3 as in the letter 3, that means that you have to be having 60 conversations with people over the next 30 days. Over the next 30 days, in order for you to hit your sales target. So this is where your ideal client work will become really critical, because you don't want to be wasting your time, because you've got to be speaking on average, because you only work, hopefully you don't work 7 days a week. There's normally 20 working days in a month. That means you've got to be speaking to at least 3 people. You've got to be generating leads of at least 3 leads coming into your business on a daily basis. If you work on a weekly basis, that's 15 leads that need to be coming into your business. And that's why you need to understand, you know, you haven't got time to be running around and putting out nice things on social media. You've got to be connecting straight away with your ideal client. I thought I had another point and I haven't, because I've got notes, like my scribbly notes. So just to recap, in order to get clients, you have to understand who your ideal client is, right? Otherwise, you're just doing what's known as spray and pray marketing and hope marketing. And I can tell you with great confidence, because not only have I seen my clients do it, I've also done it myself. It is the fastest way to burn out. It is the fastest way to soul destroying. And let's be honest, most people's mental health isn't brilliant at the best of times to begin with. So you really don't need that in your business. Ideal client work. Number 2 is you're then going to go and speak to at least 5, possibly 10. If you can speak to 20, amazing. And then once you've listened to them and you know what their problems are, you are going to sell them what they want and give them what they need. And you're going to do that by using the language that they've used in the work that you've done with them into your offers. Your visibility will go through the ceiling by doing this, because you are connecting straight away with the people who need you. And if you haven't got a very basic sales funnel, you know, it's like, that's the next thing you need to think about. How do people come into your business? So, oh, Karen, I was just talking about you at the beginning. Bless you. I was saying how I'd done this last week, and you messaged me at the end when I just dropped in at the end and I couldn't hear you. So it's like, you know, what is my conversion? So to give you an example of what sales funnels do not need to be big, right? They can be really, because I'm all about simplicity and stripping things back. So for me, it's like, I think I've put it out on a post today. For me, it's if I can get to a networking event or I can speak to people, I know that 10% of that room want to speak to me afterwards. So then I connect with them and we have a discovery call, and my conversion rate is 1 in 2. So I don't have to have that many conversations. I'm really lucky. I get a lot of referrals. Which makes you quite lazy with your marketing. Means the reason why I've still got a Wix website and I haven't actually done a lot of blogging, but I am getting better at blogging. That's it for me. You know, and it could be very similar for Esther, and it could be very similar for Karen. I'm trying to think who else I've spoken about. It could be very similar for Alison. We do need the nice marketing. We do need the nice websites and all that kind of stuff to back it up. But that's like a nice to have once you've got sales through the door. So if you've got any questions, I will stay for 30 more seconds. If Esther is still here, say yes, and I will tell Esther what I think she should be doing a course on. Maybe you need to, do you know, Esther, I do need to hire a copywriter to do my blogging. That would be amazing. However, my son was in trouble my son was in a lot of trouble for 2 years, which basically meant that I had to pull back on my business. So it is on my list of things to do. And in fairness, I did go and look at Esther's website the other day and look at her prices. And then I kind of went, oh, that's really good, because I was really impressed with her pricing. And then my brain went, oh my God, I can't afford Esther at the moment. And then I went and told 3 people. I was like, go and book Esther. She's only charging this amount. And people were like, oh, who's this Esther you keep talking about? So if you've had some leads come in, Esther, it might possibly be me. Right, so Esther, to finish, what should you be, if you are thinking of doing a passive income course or right, there's the passive income and semi-passive. Passive is where you are not involved. You create the course and then you're not really involved in it. Semi-passive is where you create the course and then you deliver like a webinar, or you have catch-up calls in between. So that's the difference between passive and semi-passive. Do you want to be my sales manager? I already am. What do you mean, do I want to be a sales manager? I already am. Because I'm very good at championing other people, especially good people. And so here's the thing, this isn't anything detrimental to Esther at all, because she talks about it all the time, right? Esther has been on an amazing journey of recovery. And I will leave that point at that. There are people out there, Esther, who want to go on that same journey, and they don't know where to start, and they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And what they need is somebody who has been through it, who can walk them through it, or can just help them and give them basic tips and advice to begin with. So it could be a passive income course where it's kind of like these, almost like the 12 steps of AA and that kind of thing. These are the steps that you need to go through. Or it could be a semi-passive one where actually, I will be on call for X amount of time and you can contact me. So I hope that helps. I hope the getting client things has helped as well. If anybody wants any more comments, please drop them underneath the live stream and I will go back to them. I'm about to go and have an argument with LinkedIn because I am sick to death of the character limiting that they put on LinkedIn, especially when you spent half an hour writing something. Thank you for all those who've listened. Any questions on getting clients, let me know. Next week I'm running a 3-day masterclass on how to create a passive and semi-passive income stream. If you want in on that, it's on the announcements in the group. So I'm off. So I'm going to go and pick my dog back up from the dog groomers. So take care, and thank you to everybody who's watched.